This is Rugged Rick Owens, and you're listening to the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast.
This is the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Feel the pain in the blast. Through the ropes, through the fight, Maritime Wrestling rules the night. The past, the present, the future. Maritime Wrestling never dies.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. I am one of the hosts, the Maritime Warrior. Maggie says hello. Joined as always by the big boss, Corey Robishow.
Man, it's been a busy week, an exciting week. You know that I'm the co-host of the BSHL podcast, and there's been a lot of stuff happening over there. I co-host that with the dipshit over here, Corey Vautour. It's that time of year, man. A lot of news coming out of there, so that's exciting. But also, a lot of good wrestling. So it's a good time to be me, man. Whee.
Good times, and the good times are going to keep rolling on. We got the Magic Man himself, Jason Casey, the Tri-City Tide. Their season has ended. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Season last home game was last Sunday. Finished the season 8-12. Last 3 games they won. Not bad for an inaugural season. First part of the season there was a lot of player changing, a lot of growing pains. New season, new team. Last team to come in the league. So, but a lot of good things already in place for next year. Next year is going to be bigger, better players. We're going to foresee a higher ranking as well, and there's also talks of new teams in our division, more Canadian teams as well.
Awesome.
Right now, East Coast only has 2 teams. The Tri-City Tide here in Moncton and the Halifax Hoopers. They're talking possibly Bathurst getting a team next year. Talking
interesting. Cape
Breton possibly getting a team. Fredericton may get a team. St. John possibly.
Jeez.
So, it's in the works. Things are happening. So if you like basketball, definitely check out the Tri-City Tide, and we'll go from there.
So I got to hang out with Jason on Saturday. I went to the Tri-City Tide game.
Yeah.
I had a blast. Sat with Jason. I think it's the longest I've ever talked to Jason in person. So that was fun to really just be able to sit and have a chat. But, man, I think anybody that's into sports next year, make sure you get out to a Tri-City Tide game. That venue at Crandall, Corey, you'd love it. You would love it. It's very much benches like in River Valley, but the bench in front of you has like a gap where your feet are, so your feet can actually go under the bench in front of you a bit.
Oh,
my knees suck, and my knees didn't hurt once that night.
Lovely.
Also, really cheap popcorn, really good popcorn.
You had Corey at popcorn. Corey's a popcorn fiend.
I'd like to thank Jennifer going and getting me a popcorn. She's the best.
Smells it from a mile away, and he's like, "They're cooking popcorn here." And like,
listen here, dickhead. Some kid passed by with a popcorn, and then Jason was like, "Can you go get me a Gatorade to his niece?" And I was like, "I'll take some water and popcorn, please." And I'm like pulling money out of my wallet so happily. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I wish you guys were there with us, but looking forward to early June when we all make the trip to PEI. I think we're gonna have a pretty good time together.
I will say this: I did watch the highlights of one of the games. I don't know his last name, but Towns.
James
Towns.
Yeah,
that's my favorite guy. He was awesome.
Yeah.
He reminds me of my favorite basketball player, Steph Curry. Yes, I watch basketball, ladies and gentlemen. Big shocker. The short, fat, white boy watches basketball.
So mean to yourself.
And that's it. Oh no, wait. We
No,
got
no,
one
who
more.
else is amazing? Do you want to know who else is amazing?
Wow.
Mark, what's going on?
Oh, just chilling.
Just chilling, illin'.
Chilling like a villain. Just waiting for you to introduce me so I can say something because I kind of felt
How is
horrible if I
life
just butt
going
in.
with you?
Oh, it's not going too bad. I'm on vacation this week, so it's pretty chill and
Vacation,
taking it
doing
easy.
nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to read. I'm going to play video games. I already cleaned the house yesterday, so good to go, guys. Good to go.
He's a fancy guy.
I drink my Timmies with my
Oh,
little
that's fucking
finger up in the air.
Why do you have to call it Jimmy's?
Be a nice week to go get some golfing in, Mark. I'm just saying.
Woo. I would have so much fun out there.
So
I used to golf until I turned into the same shape as a golf ball.
With little dimples all over you.
That's right.
Is that what you're saying?
see, it's funny when I make fun of myself, but it's not funny when you make fun of yourself. That's not nice to yourself, Jason.
Yeah. Well,
People actually like you.
We're going to have an intervention.
That's true.
An intervention. All right, let's get this party started. First show this weekend, Lutte Prestige. Let's start off with the Zane Valentine beating Butter Love match. My first question here. I might be misremembering this. Mark and Corey, you were there. Does Shane Butter Love come out to the Power of Love?
I don't know.
You were
That's a
at
really
the show.
good question.
I
don't
feel
remember.
I feel like that's the song he comes. If he doesn't come out to that, shame on whoever's booking him. It writes itself right there. But Zane
I know it
Valentine,
was, yeah.
it's either a copied song of that or the actual song. Not a copy.
Yeah, something like that.
like a cover, maybe. I don't know.
Cover, yeah. I forgot the word cover for a second.
I noticed.
Butter Love loses to Zane Valentine, the ultimate male himself, along with no class, Eric Bass. Thoughts on the Butter Love is still very, very young, new in his career. Like when we saw him, Horsepower Hunter Sampson said he had like 5 matches, maybe.
Yeah.
Like since then, he's probably had like another 2 or 3, so he's still under 10 matches probably. And they're putting him in the ring with a veteran like Zane Valentine. You know that's a plus for him.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's how you learn.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially like they're getting some good reps. I find like recently, especially like the newer guys are getting some reps in against like Fantana and, as you mentioned, St. Valentine and all these experienced guys, and that's awesome. That's what's going to get them there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can only learn so much in a training class. You know what I mean? You can learn how to take a bump. You can learn how to throw a punch, whatever. But until you actually put the reps in, there's no way you're gonna know exactly what it feels like to be in the ring and you know what I mean. Take those reps and take those hits and those bumps and learn from the guys that have been doing it for 5, 10, 20 years. And
not everybody works the same either. So
exactly.
Different styles to learn from.
Yeah.
Next match, as of this recording, birthday boy himself, Matt Chevron, he beat Leon Wolf. Leon Wolf, Corey, you have to remember him from the early IHW days. Wrestling is Zero, exactly.
Yeah.
Had a few matches with our good buddy BT Bobby Man. This must have been awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. They both have really good styles. One's more technical than the other, but I think it would have been fantastic. I can't wait to see footage on it.
Yeah, Zero. I'm not sure who vibrated. I think it was probably Corey. It wasn't me.
It was the fucking BSHL podcast Facebook page blowing up.
Turn the fucking notifications off. What's wrong with you? Anyway, as I said, lots of news coming out right now. Zero always had this kind of like edgier style, can fly, but he's always been kind of like a hard hitter. Always used to remind me, now when I think about it, like an Alex Silva type, you know? And yeah, I'm glad that he's still active, even though it's mostly just in northern New Brunswick. A good reason to make our way out there sometime to catch a show.
Exactly. I don't think I've ever seen Zero live or
Really?
Leon Wolf. If I have, I don't remember, but
Yeah, I've seen him at Real Savage. He puts on a good show.
I just spilled water all over myself when I took a drink there. It wasn't fully closed, so
New
thanks,
lip?
everybody. Fuck you, Mark.
We're already.
There you go.
I donkey lipped it. You donkey lipped it.
Yeah.
all right. Next matchup: Rugged Rick Owens beat Big Bad LG Logan Green. I think all of our favorite is Logan Green, except for Mark. Mark really doesn't like Logan Green. He's a big Rugged Rick Owens fan, though. Thoughts on this, Mark?
As he should have.
As he should have.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much actual wrestling went into that match because we all know that Logan likes to talk more than he likes to wrestle. So
That's the art form, man. That's the art form.
well, that's what I mean. So I'm not sure exactly how much wrestling went into it, but either way, Rick Owens took him out. So we'll see what happens next time around. I'm
What's
sure.
fun about Logan Green is he can eat a pinfall. People won't remember him getting pinned. They'll remember him berating the crowd. Mark is different. He's a different cat. They'll remember him berating the crowd and coming out and just, and I don't know, man. He's my guy right now. He's really my favorite guy in the Maritimes right now. You're not supposed to pick favorites, but I have.
Yeah, I mean, the only way people actually remember those type of pinfalls is when it matters. You know what I mean? When a title is involved, or just a regular match. His type of character, win or lose, it doesn't matter. Pinfall, he could stand out there for 15 minutes and just cut a promo and not even have a match, and he'd still be the most over person of the night. So,
and that's the art form. Corey, I know you're a big Bad LG fan. Talk to me.
I mean, that's easily my favorite guy right now in the Maritimes. He entertains the crap out of me. I think he's a bit of a douchebag. He still has Max Domi's haircut. I wish he was. He has Ty Domi's haircut too. I wish he was
There's a little difference.
I wish he was nicer to my friend Mark because I'm actually friends with Mark. I'm friends with Mark, and I like when people are nice with Mark. So,
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But I love Big Bad LG, man. I'm amped to see him on Saturday.
Yeah, you better be amped. You better be getting down on your hands and knees for Big Bad LG, gracing you with his presence. I have him on speed dial. I'll let him know this.
Here's the problem. If I drop on my knees to bow down, he's going to have to help me get back up. And I don't want to hurt his back. So I won't be bowing down.
Well, the disrespect towards LG,
all right. Orion will be there. He'll be able to help you out.
There you go. Orion will help you.
Oh, that's all right.
Orion,
He's like 10 feet tall, like 500 pounds.
11 and a half feet tall?
Yeah,
No, he
11 and a half
grew to
feet.
13.
Oh, really?
nice.
Okay.
He eats his greens.
Off topic here. What's his name? Rick Derringer? The guy that did Real American? He died today.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, shout out to the originator of Real American. Yes, the theme song of the U.S. Express, Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo. Brother. Salem Wilder successfully defended her NBWA Women's Championship against Stormy Hale. They're going balls to the wall with Salem Wilder. She's becoming an ace female in the Maritimes. What can you say about Salem Wilder? She's checking off all the boxes right now, especially for being so young.
Yeah, exactly. She's definitely Loot Prestige, CCW, MBWA's ace in the hole right now. It doesn't matter who you're. Again, same thing as with Butter Love. They're putting her against not in this case, but in most cases against very seasoned vets. And she's learning. She's getting better and better every time. They took enough confidence in her to put the title on her. And she's proving why she deserves the title. Every time you see her, she's better than the last time you saw her. So it's fantastic.
Did we touch on how like every show she talks to people and like she's so out there and like she really seems like a genuinely nice person.
She's a genuine baby face. Like she'll
100%.
It'd be hard to boo her because she's easily likable. You know, it's like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat back in the day. Can you imagine Ricky Steamboat as a heel? I can't. She's like that. She's just too likable. But the best baby faces always make better heels. So, you know, don't doubt her heel presence when it comes out because, you know, once the wells run dry on a baby face run, a heel run refreshes your character.
Yeah, look, we all seen what happened with Wayne Jugs at PWU.
Exactly, you know.
So
that's true.
So, next matchup for the NBWA River Valley Championship, Carrie Killam beat another birthday boy today. So we're Tuesday, May 27th. Chevron and the Strong brothers is their birthday. So Nick and Matt Strong they're twins.
They're twins. Yeah.
I did not know that. So happy birthday to the Strong brothers and Matt Chevron on behalf of the podcast. I know this is coming out on the 28th, but it's on the 27th right now. So Carrie Killam gets the win over Matt Strong.
Yeah. I didn't think that Killam was going to lose his title so quickly. He literally just won it. But I'm sure it was a good match. Matt Strong is a fierce competitor. Kerry Killam is a big boy, so I'm sure it was a real slugfest.
Imagine, yeah. So no comments from the other two boys. So we'll move on to the next title match. For the NBWA Heavyweight Championship, Larry Horowitz beat Nick Strong. So the Strong brothers in 2 singles matches. And I know they are feuding right now. I believe Nick Strong turned on Matt.
Yeah, last CCW show, I believe. So I'm not sure what that if that storyline has continued into Loot Prestige or not. But they were definitely in 2 singles matches, so it could possibly venture over into Loot Prestige as well, because normally they would be tagged together. So
yeah,
they might share a birthday, but right now they don't share a tag team.
I was just about to say that you might want to wish them a happy birthday separately.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I did on Facebook. The rare times I go on Facebook, I got a notification that 3 of my friends on Facebook had birthdays, and I was like, well, since I'm here.
Yeah. So they turned 27 on the 27th.
It's their lucky year.
That's right.
Their lucky year, which they're going to be both world champions.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I figured at some point.
The main event this night for the NBWA Prestige title, Horsepower Hunter Sampson beat Scott Lee Crew for the title. I didn't see this one coming, but I find it's brilliant. Horsepower Hunter Sampson, and I hope he doesn't get offended by me saying this, he'll never be the face of a promotion, like the number 1 guy. Neither was Macho Man Randy Savage. And Macho Man Randy Savage is a 5-time world champion.
Yeah.
I think Horsepower Hunter Sampson, this is his stepping stone belt.
Oh, 100%.
I know Lutte Prestige is its own thing. This is their world title. But the big promotion is still CCW. The big belt is still the big yellow belt. And I think this is a stepping stone towards that belt. Man, he looked great with that red strap belt on his shoulder. So, thoughts on Horsepower. Here's one thing that I'm going to say about Hunter Sampson. When the Sampson brothers started their tag team, it was Tommy Lee Sampson and his brother. That's how people looked at it. Mm-hmm. Tommy Lee he's in the Motor League. He had already trained with Pete Smith and all that. And they were already saying the Sean and the Marty. Well, the Sean is Hunter.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And he's proven a lot of people wrong. One of the nicest guy you'll meet. We talked to him at IHW. Big boy too. Big tall guy. Hell of a great look too.
Stop hitting on wrestlers, you weirdo.
I know, man.
Fucking Corey.
Smart as
Hell of
a
a
whip.
good look. Nice ass.
Hell of a good
too, let me
look.
tell you. Burn buttocks on that fella.
the smoothest arms you'll see.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, for him to have this title at this point in his career, because he's still relatively young.
Yeah.
Like, I think he had the NBWA tag titles for a cup of coffee. I think it was like 10 days with Scott Lee Crew. This is going to be his like first like major title reign. You can expect he's going to be champion for probably over a year, because the Maritimes is different than in mainstream, where you can have a title reign last 2 years and you'll get a handful of title defenses because you don't do shows every week.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to rock with this title, and I'm interested in seeing what you guys have to say.
Jason,
Not all at once. Not all at once now.
Go ahead,
Not
Mark,
all at
butt in.
once now.
I didn't want to butt in, but honestly, could we look at this in a way of it being like an ROH title to an AEW, right?
That's a good comparison, actually. That's
It's
a
a stepping
very
stone.
good comparison.
But
Because it's
yet,
not
Chris
really-
Jericho's held it.
Yeah.
You know, big names.
The thing is, it's not really a secondary title because it's Lutte Prestige's top title.
Mhm.
But Lutte Prestige also, like on the show, every belt was on the line.
Yeah.
The River Valley title was on the line. The women's title, the heavyweight title, the
Yep.
Prestige title is like their own. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like their own title.
So it'd be
It's like
technically
their brand.
Loot Prestige is #1 title, CCW's mid-card title.
Exactly. That's a good comparison to the ROH title, because the first champion, Scott Lee Crew, who's another guy that's one of the best heels in the Maritimes, gets heat no matter where he goes, and he'll find it no matter throwing dog treats at you, just whatever needs to be done. Him as the first champion, he's a former NBWA heavyweight champion, adds that prestige to the prestige title.
Exactly. Yep, I like you said, I think it's a fantastic stepping stone. Hunter's young, just getting started. Give him 5 more years. I can't wait to see where he's at.
Exactly.
I've always liked Hunter. I think he's a talented kid, good look. I haven't met him, so I can't speak to, whether he has firm arms and soft arms like Corey. But always been, I don't know, something about him, man. He's got this wrestling style, very amateur-esque. I'm really, really glad that he's kind of getting this push finally. And another guy that I'm really looking forward to seeing more of in IHW lately. So
Yeah.
good hairstyle too. I think that's a winning hairstyle. Just so we're
It's
clear.
got the Ty Domi.
The Ty Domi.
I'm gonna
Is Ty-
kick you in the shit.
You said it first, buddy.
First question, is Ty Domi bald now?
He is.
Is he? Wow.
He's
Jeez.
been for a long time, Corey.
The
You
last
drink
time I
last
saw him,
time,
If you
the last
drank more
time the
Guinness,
Leafs
you'd
made
know.
the playoffs, he was bald. Or that they made the finals, or whatever you want to call it.
they didn't make the finals.
No. Well, let's not get
Or
things
The
out of
Eastern
proportion there.
Conference finals, or whatever there.
Eastern Conference Finals. So that was Lit Prestige. The very next night, CCW had their show. Starting off, Caden beating Massey Harris. I'm a big fan of Caden. Talk about career resurgence. Like, he's been putting in the work. I'm still marking out over that Fatal 4-Way in IPW. That right now is my match of the year. We're in May. But I really enjoyed that match, and I'm sure him and Massey had a hell of a great match.
Oh, I'm sure of it too. Massey Harris is not a big man, but he's very tall. So I think the two of them together.
He's the reverse me. I'm not very tall, but I'm pretty big.
There
He's a
you
tall
go.
elf.
Yeah. But I think it was a good match. I've seen Massey Harris wrestle in a tag team with Larry.
Yes.
He's still fairly new in his career as well, but he's come a long way. And again, wrestling with a vet like Caden, you can only get better.
Next matchup, and a big thanks to Connor Cook, who sent me the results as the matches were happening. Spike Esty and Slick McRick, they beat Big Bad LG and Kerry Killam. Here's the thing. Spike Esty and Slick McRick came out dressed as Big Bad LG and Kerry Killam. So that must have been just hell. Mark has the goofiest smile on his face. What do you have what do you have against Big Bad LG? He made you, boy.
Comedy is comedy.
Comedy is comedy. That words by Mark. So Spike and Slick get the win. Spike Esty seems to be one of those young wrestlers that they're really pushing as almost like a Hunter Sampson. Like Hunter Sampson was like the first guy that they're like starting slow, but they're pushing him towards the top. And the new guy that they're doing that with is Spike Esty. And he's putting in the work, and he's getting results here. So thoughts on this match?
I'll let somebody else go for a change.
I'd love to see Spike Esty pop up in more promotions. I will say that. I'd like to see him kind of spread his wings a bit in the Maritimes. I think he's a talented kid. And to learn and to grow, I think you need to see some new opponents here. But I think this is well-deserved. I'm glad they came out kind of the character, coming out dressed as someone else. It's smart. It's fun. Pops the crowd. And yeah, wish I was there. This sounds like it was a really good show, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some video footage. Everything looked fantastic. I did see the some of the video footage of this match, and normally Spike Esty is a very serious style wrestler. He completely 180'd this match. Total comedy character. Logan Green went to do his hip tossing, taking his shirt off. Spike jumps in front of him, does the same thing, taking his jacket off. It just mirrored him like the whole time. Logan would say something, Spike would repeat it in the same like swagger. It was fantastic. One thing people probably don't know about Spike is he's living his dream right now. He's had 3 open heart surgeries.
Oh, shit.
And he's still living his dream to wrestle. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That is inspiring, actually. I did not know that, so
Yeah.
Wow.
Kudos to him.
Absolutely.
Big kudos to him. But an even bigger kudos to the man who got robbed, Big Bad LG. Justice for LG. I got nothing else to say about this match. Salem Wilder successfully
he's turning him
defends.
into a freaking punk.
I'm going to mute Mark for a second. We're going to have to discuss Mark's contract, maybe lower his pay from 0 to -0.
He'll have to pay us to come on.
There you go. That works for me. Thank you, Jason. Salem Wilder successfully defends the NBWA Women's Championship against Danny Leo. We've seen Danny Leo in North Pro before. We know what she brings. From Quebec, another big name working with Salem Wilder. She's being put around people that's just going to help her. So, thoughts on this?
Danny Leo is a great wrestler, comes from Quebec City, works a ton in Quebec, has been to the Maritimes in the past with North Pro, going to be back in the Maritimes in a couple of weeks with IPW. I believe in a relationship with Alex Silva. So, again,
Yeah, they're engaged.
I'm almost positive of it. So, yeah, no, I think love seeing her here. The Maritimes is growing. We're getting more women's wrestlers. It's fantastic wrestling. Bringing in some high caliber talent like Danny from Quebec is only going to help elevate our local wrestlers as well. So, huge fan of this. And I like Salem, man. She's got a good look, very unique. Super sweet. Loved when I met her. She had no problem recording an intro for us. I'm not sure if that's been played yet. I think it has.
It has last week.
Anyway, just big fan, and good for her for getting this rub. Also getting a win, big win. But
and he says I hit on wrestlers.
Such a fucking dipshit. But yeah, no, I'm glad to see Danny back in the Maritimes.
I popped myself with that one.
Yeah, I'll pop you one.
You're a mark for yourself.
Yeah.
What's the next match, you fucking punk?
Jeez,
Well,
LG's turning him. I thought he was going to say kudos to me earlier.
That's a pretty good LG, actually.
I know. I got him down now. Hurt him so much.
Hunter Sampson, horsepower himself. He beat Zane Valentine. And you know that no class Eric Bass was probably not far behind. Hunter won by DQ. Does this continue? Because them feuding makes a lot of sense.
Oh, for sure. Especially now that Hunter's the Prestige champion. If that trickles over into Prestige, that could be a whole new feud.
That could be the main event.
That could be the main event. Could be the next feud for Prestige. So who knows? Maybe a year down the road, you might see that title around Zane's waist instead. So it's definitely, again, like we keep saying, they keep putting the young guns against the vets. And they're learning. They're getting the reps in. I mean, Hunter's been wrestling a couple years maybe at this point.
Yeah.
But to have him in the ring with guys like Zane, and again, like you're saying, the different styles, right? Like if you keep wrestling against the same guy that has the same style over and over and over, you're never going to learn how to wrestle a different style. So if you're being put in with guys like Caden and Zane and Kirk Obey and Scott Lee, you're going to learn so many different styles.
Absolutely. Where am I here? Nick Strong beats Butter Love. Again, young talent getting put in there with Nick. Nick's been going for quite a while now, so I think that he'd be considered a vet by this point.
I'd say so.
I
I mean, he's been going
I
for
would say
what?
close to it, yeah. I think he's right up there around the same time as Cole, so like 7-8 years.
Yeah, yeah. The first time I ever saw them would have been the first ever North Pro show.
Legit.
Legit, and they were on the VIP.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those matches are online, but yeah, that would have been the first time I ever saw them. The first time I ever got to appreciate them was at the Capitol Theater show. Them wanting an autograph from Lil Blay, and it was going to cost them $20, and Charlie Hubley says, Nick punched somebody, so he punched Charlie Hubley. Wrong person. He's learned his lesson since then because he got the win over Butter Love. So, you know, again, Nick Strong, what can you say? You know, the first ever River Valley champion.
Oh, absolutely.
Crude Oil successfully defended their tag titles against Jason. Help me out here.
I don't even know where you're at anymore. You keep jumping around from my list here. So, there you are. Crude Oil retained their title against Patrick O'Neill and Oscar Ironside.
Oh.
So, two new guys right out of River Valley Athletics Club. I think this might be their third or fourth match on a main card. I think this is like their second or third time going for the titles already. So again, putting their reps in, and I mean, they're facing Crude Oil, going against, again, two veterans. Sound like a broken record at this point, but you know what I mean? It's how do you learn. So
yeah. What's funny about this is I see no reason to take the belts off Crude Oil, but at some point you're going to have to switch the belt to somebody else. But right now, I keep looking at Scott Lee Crew giving the rub to Matt Chevron. And Chevron's been just killing it lately.
Yeah, Chevron, actually, we spoke earlier this week, end of last week, I believe. And he is now full-time wrestler. No job other than wrestling. So he and Hollywood Cole are the only two guys in the Maritimes that are wrestling full-time at this
Isn't that
point.
awesome? Like, we actually have like legit full-time wrestlers in the Maritimes. Like, when's the last time that's happened?
Dude, even Josh Alexander was wrestling for, I think, TNA at the time, and he was working construction like as a carpenter, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I'd say the last time we saw that would have been early 2000s, maybe, when Grand Prix was running, or Real Action was running. Real Action was running full time for a long time there.
Well, Wildman did it for a while.
Yeah.
Right? Around here?
Early-ish 2000s is my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, nowadays it's a little easier. Well, I say easier. It's easier to the fact that there's enough promotions that you can do that. Because if you're good enough and you can get booked, you could technically wrestle every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And with everything being so expensive nowadays, that's impressive.
Yeah,
it really is.
Crazy impressive.
Yeah.
The main event on this night saw Rugged Rick Owens beat Chris Charters. They'd been feuding for a while. You've got to imagine this ends the feud right here.
Yeah. I had gotten the notes from Rugged Rick for these results, and the way he described this to me is they murdered each other in the ring. So
really,
I can't. I hope that it gets posted online at some point so I can actually
it will.
So I can actually watch it, because it sounded like it was an absolute slugfest. But yeah, Rick Owens got the win. And then after the match was done, Zane Valentine and No Class Eric Bass came out to try and get Rick to join them. And when he refused, they jumped him. So that's kind of how the evening ended, with those two knuckleheads beating up on Rugged Rick. So not sure where that takes us. As you mentioned, Corey, this could end the Charters and Owens feud and bring in a Valentine's and Owens feud, maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah,
I want somebody to have a match and put Eric Bass in a cage.
A shark cage?
It's just coming. One day we're gonna see it. Little
like
cage,
Dominic Mysterio?
Little hoist, elevate that sucker, make him sit there and watch his boy Zane Valentine get a beat down. He's that kind of a heel manager, and it's fun to watch.
Check him for weapons.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've never seen Eric live as a manager. I've only watched matches online. He has sat in front of me at a bunch of North Pro shows back in the day, though.
Oh, I've seen him as a manager multiple times, and oh my God, he's good. He's such a good heel manager. It's unbelievable. He gets under your skin, and he carries that water spray bottle around with him, and he sprays you in the face as he's walking by. And if you try to chirp, he sprays you in the face. And if you know him, he sprays you in the face anyway. I left one show at an IHW show soaking wet. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, let's be honest here. You probably deserved it. You were probably a good man.
I definitely deserved it.
Being a pest.
Oh, yes. I was the LG of at the time. I definitely gave it to him. But going, as Corey said, if you want to put him in a cage, CCW is the place to do it. The Fredrickson Exhibition Center has really nice high ceilings. It'd be a fantastic place to do it.
If I'd ever be a manager, you could not. Like, I'd quit. You're not putting me in a high place. Just it's not.
This guy can't look down from the top of a section at a hockey game. Like, it's really kind of sad.
Yeah, but he's only 4'2". You put him on top of the table, and he's in a high place. So
listen, I'm 4'2.5" now.
Okay,
I'm like Orion. I grow a little bit.
You've been eating your greens.
Eating
I
his
have.
greens, pooping solid. Carry on.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Right on, Corey.
So, United Wrestling is the final show that we're going to be talking about today. First match, we had a triple threat match as Backwoods Buchanan beat El Fuego Dragon and X-Ray Kyle Cruz. Backwoods, I haven't been seeing him a lot lately, but gets a big win here over one of my favorite masked wrestlers in the Maritimes, El Fuego Dragon. Was always a fan of his, even going back to the NWE days. And veteran of the Maritime wrestling scene, X-Ray Kyle Cruz. So, thoughts on Backwoods having a big win here?
Well, he had a big win because JP interfered, Mr. JP Sims.
He deserves it.
So, it's JP. What can you say? The angry Whopper.
I too am a big fan of El Fuego Dragon. Going back to his NWE days, most nights he was the only thing on the NWE roster that I enjoyed. I was not an NWE guy, man. What can I tell you? I did enjoy me some El Fuego Dragon, though, man. What a wrestler. Came kind of at a time when we needed that kind of a wrestler too. So
Him and Fantana,
love Fantana.
kind of like paralleled at the same time,
Yep.
They were two of the biggest fan favorites in NWE. I'm not as critical as Corey. I can always find something good to watch.
Fantana was on those cards too. So Fantana and El Fuego were the two that I.
There.
All right, pipes. I'm fine with pipes. Yeah.
Even
You're right.
X-Ray Kyle Cruz under his vampire gimmick, Forrest Cullen was ass.
Pass.
Oh,
Pass because it was ass. I hated the
Pass
Forrest
the
Gump one.
ass.
Twilight was fucking terrible. I did not enjoy it. He'd come out as Forrest Cullen and I'd just cringe. That's when I'd go take a piss, grab a chip, get a bottle
Was
of
there
water.
a guy in
Get some
Twilight
popcorn.
called Forrest Cullen?
That was
Edward
X-Ray
Cullen.
Kyle Cruz. He was Forrest Cullen.
No, I know
Edward
that,
Cullen-
but the Twilight.
Edward Cullen was the main vampire in,
Yeah.
and the Cullens were the vampire family in Twilight. Why do I know that? Because I have a sister and people around me that watch that show.
Twilight.
And
hated
fun
Twilight.
fact about
Never
Corey's
seen the movie.
sister, she drives her car in neutral.
Frequently.
What a crazy
Not
concept
because of
there.
me. Not because of me.
No, Corey's innocent.
I would
Yeah.
never do anything.
I
My
can
new
vouch
game-
for Corey.
My new game is flipping on her heated seats. That's been fun. Really looking forward to going to check out
Yes,
summer.
I've heard that conversation.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
hilarious.
Time.
Oh man.
Sidewalk Sam, he beat Andre Myatt. Sidewalk Sam, I remember him in mainstream wrestling as what was his name? NC Power, I think it was. CN Power. So
yes,
a play on the
CN.
CN Tower. So he was CN Power. Now he's homeless.
Now he's
Wrestling for food. He beat Andre Myatt here. I love Andre Myatt. Sidewalk Sam, I've never got to see him live. I'm just going to say that. Never got to see him live. Know a lot about him. Another former NWE alumni. This should have been pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it would have been a good old school match. A little bit of comedy involved. Sidewalk Sam is a pretty good comedic wrestler.
Yeah.
Andre is probably one of the best all-around wrestlers around.
Agreed.
If he wants to be in a serious role, he can be in a serious role. If he wants to be comedic, he can be comedic. Yeah, he's just a jack of all trades. I have seen Sidewalk Sam wrestle a few times for a couple of different promotions. Again, he's an old school wrestler. He recently lost a bunch of weight and got in really good shape. I think he's lost
Really?
like 40 or 50 pounds. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I believe he's working with Pipes, I believe. And yeah, he's lost a lot of weight. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
it's cool. I've seen him multiple places. I've seen him wrestle for Supernova. I've seen him wrestle CCW. I've seen him wrestle New Breed. And he has a sign, will wrestle for change or for food or whatever, and he has a Tim Hortons cup, and literally people are standing in line outside before the show, and he's walking around asking people for money, and
Living the gimmick.
Living the gimmick, and no word of a lie. I swear, by the time he goes back inside, if he doesn't have $15 or $20 in his cup, I'd eat my shirt. Like, people are handing him handfuls of change. Same thing when he's inside, heading to the ring. He's got a Tim Hortons cup in his hand. It's all frayed at the top. And he's walking around with his Tim Hortons cup, and he's going around the ring to get in the ring. He's got that Tim Hortons cup, and people are putting change in it. So, like, if his payout at the end of the night is $50, well, he's making an extra $20, $30 just getting change from people as part of his gimmick.
I've been watching a lot of old school wrestling lately. Actually, I've been watching a lot of old school wrestling all the time. That's just what I do to relax. I've been watching a lot of IWA from 1975, the old Eddie Einhorn promotion. And living the gimmick is something that's so friggin' cool. You look at a tag team like the Mongols. At the time in IWA, it was Gito and Beepo, I believe, Mongol. And the weird haircut, like there's just a little bit of hair in front,
hair, yeah.
And their manager George Crybaby Cannon, that a lot of people don't know about, and I'm like, God, I loved Crybaby Cannon so much, and people don't know about him. But talking about Sidewalk Sam living the gimmick, it's refreshing to see that some performers are still willing to do that.
100%. Yeah, another guy that comes to mind, he didn't wrestle this weekend, but that is living his gimmick, is Olafur Hansen.
Yep.
The guy is on vacation with his family touring Europe right now, and he's cutting promo after promo for all these different promotions that he's going to be wrestling in the future about why he's in Europe, and it's, you know what I mean? It's better. He's better in Europe because the food is better and the women are better and da-da-da-da. I mean, this guy doesn't have to do that. He's on vacation with his family, but yet he loves wrestling enough to want to cut promos from Europe. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. Awesome. Yeah.
Love it.
It's really a shame that AWOL jumped him, eh? What a bunch of cowards.
They'll get what's coming to them.
He lost his Skittle Sour. Like, man.
Have you tried the Skittle Sour?
No.
Oh, man.
I should.
I
already drank two by the time he came in the ring. So I was like, well.
I have no clue what a Skittle Sour is, but
it's a sour beer. It's a sour beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to try.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm not a beer drinker, and I took a sip of Jenna's at the last show, and I actually liked it. And I don't like the taste of beer because I'm allergic to beer.
See, here's the thing. I like the taste of beer, but I don't like the taste of fruity beer. Like,
this didn't taste fruity.
That's what he's saying.
It was like just a sour taste to it, but there was no like fruit taste to it. It was good.
I'll give that one a try, actually. I will. But speaking of AWOL's Alex Miller took on Anthony Deuce Harlem. It went to a double countout. Jason, can you explain to us those dastardly AWOL boys? What did they do now?
Those friggers.
So disappointed in them, honestly. So after the match, it went to a double countout. After the match, Brian DeVaro come out, and they double team Deuce. And
I mean, he probably had it coming, right?
Probably had it coming. Not sure if you guys seen the pictures floating around Instagram or Facebook lately, but the whole inside of Deuce's arm is all black and blue. So they really put the boots to him. His whole bicep is purple. Riggs did come out for the save after that match, but and yeah, they definitely did a number on Deuce for sure.
So, following up to that, Ryan Riggs beats Brian DeVaro, and let's be honest, he probably cheated, right?
I don't know if Riggs cheated, but I'm sure Brian DeVaro tried for sure.
Do you remember the old saying, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat?
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. No, so Ryan Riggs got the win on that one. I think it kind of set them up for their next event. They have a show coming up at the end of the month So it's AWOL versus Riggs and Deuce in a TLC match.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting.
So
Man, United Wrestling, I just got to say, it's a breath of fresh air to think outside the box. I watched the promo. I heard fuck and ass and all these wonderful words that I just love hearing. Like, sometimes wrestling, it doesn't have to be for kids.
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
I
it can be
agree.
a real breath of fresh air. Years ago, when Marcus Burke went on social media and said, "Hey, we're TV 14.
Yep.
We're going to cater to the older fans." And I think North Pro was the only one doing that. And now we got United Wrestling. And where do their shows take place?
This one here was in Kingston, Nova Scotia, so in the New Minus Kentville area.
So I don't know how far that is, but I would definitely go to see a United Wrestling show.
I believe it's like 3.5 hours, almost 4-hour drive one way. So when we go to Windsor for wrestling in Windsor, Cody Uno Ocho's promotion.
Mm-hmm.
From Moncton, I think it takes us like 3 hours and 20 minutes. Kentville is probably about 15-20 minutes past Windsor. So
Okay.
Also, it's close.
close to Windsor.
Okay. I thought it was like 3.5 hours the other way.
No, so you would have to go, like, you can cut across, but, like, it would be going, like, westerly towards the Yarmouth area, like Annapolis Valley, Digby. It's heading in that direction.
Okay.
Cool.
So, yeah. Beautiful area, too. It's so gorgeous. That's literally, like, the heart of Acadie. So, like,
We'll have to hit a show up there at some point, but till then, we're going to move on to the next match. Highlander, Robbie McAllister, he beat FKA. I don't know if that means formerly known as Jefferson James, but thoughts on this character development of FKA?
it's weird. I don't know where he's going with it or what he's going to do with it. He seems to be cutting better promos since developing this new character persona. But I just wish he'd actually pick a name. It just makes it like almost like an in between. Do you know what you're doing? Do you not know what you're doing? You know what I mean?
Like, the payoff has to be spectacular. You got to imagine.
I hope so. You don't want it to fall flat because it's, you know what I mean? It's got to build to something at this point. It's one thing if you're going to change your name, change your gimmick from the upperclassman to wherever he's going now. But it better be a big payoff at the end, because if not, he was getting big heat pops as the upperclassman.
Yeah.
So you better hope that wherever you're going gets you there and bigger.
Yeah. And facing off against Robbie McAllister, what can you say about Highlander Robbie McAllister, someone that chose the Maritimes as his home?
I want to talk about something right now that I feel really, really needs to be talked about.
All right, Mark,
how
all yours.
Robbie McAllister lost his job because he was at a TNA event. Okay? Now, fast forward to what, 20-some years later-ish?
About 20,
no,
maybe.
not even like
Not yet? No?
to now, or to when he started in the Maritimes.
No,
When he left
from
the
when he-
WWE.
So it's not 20 yet.
Not 20 yet, but whatever.
No.
Last weekend, Trick Williams wins the TNA title. Get the fuck out of here.
It was this weekend. He wins the TNA World Heavyweight title by defeating Joe Hendry on an NXT show. The TNA World title main evented a WWE show. It's Bizarro World. Yes, it is. I think AEW has a lot to do with that. I think AEW, they have a working relationship with CMLL. So WWE is going to be like, we're going to buy AAA. AEW, they have a working relationship with New Japan. Well, we're going to work with Pro Wrestling Noah then. They work with Stardom. WWE works with Marigold. I think it's trying to one-up AEW, and I don't know why they even bother, because AEW is just, it's not what it used to be. Mark, I know you're a huge fan of AEW, but even you have to admit it's not what it used to be.
Well, I'm at the place where, how I mentioned this before, how I watch every single episode back to back, where I'm at the place where, well,
they're just
Moxley
getting out of COVID on March.
Moxley just won the world title. So the Death Riders became a thing.
So September?
Yeah, I'm like 32 episodes behind, I think.
Oh my God.
I'm shocked he didn't. Like, this is why Mark is part of the podcast. When he commits to something, he commits to something.
Like, yeah.
The only thing I've committed to as hard as Mark's committed to AEW is overeating. All right? That's
you, me
it.
both.
I mean, good Lord, dude. I can't tell you the last time I watched a full episode of AEW Dynamite.
But yeah, it's just, kind of going back there. Sorry for going sidetracking, whatever. But yeah, I feel bad for him. I really do. Like nowadays, if you think about it, how the business changed.
I understand why. I think the one thing that needs to be blamed is TNA in general. Why show? They knew what would happen. They fucking knew what would happen. And that's the old management. I just finished watching the Daphne Dark Side of the Ring. That old TNA management was fucking scumbags. Yeah. Scumbags. Like, they do that to get a cheap pop, and it cost Robbie McAllister his job. The tag team, Rory McAllister as well. Daphne getting concussed and an arm broken, and then getting concussed again, and she tried to sue them, and they just gave her a bunch of her action figures to hawk merch at indie shows. It's like the old TNA management should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Like that whole Dixie Carter management and all that. It's unbelievable.
Think about it though. Like I was reading some comments because I found that this was a really, really interesting thing to read into and what people thought about it. And they were going on about how easy it would have been for the WWE to like kind of work off of it and be like, oh, they went to TNA to scout people and there's nobody better than anybody at the WWE, so they came back. Like,
here's my answer to that. Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he takes it so freaking personal.
No other promotion exists in Vince McMahon's mind other than the WWE.
Well, not promotions, just Vince. Just Vince. Yeah. The person.
It's like Vince McMahon is the guy that said, I don't want to use wrestling anymore for a wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
WWE stands for nothing. A lot of people, it stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. It stands for WWE. Vince McMahon.
Worldwide Entertainment. I don't know.
Like back in the day, the only reason back in the day they would say, remember the old Raws and SmackDowns and all that? And they were like, the World Wrestling Federation champion. You know why they'd say that? Because contractually, I think, they had to deal with the World Wildlife Fund. And they couldn't really say WWF too much. So they just say the entire fucking thing. But you haven't heard World Wrestling Entertainment on a WWE show since probably 2002. 2003, maybe.
I agree.
It's been over 20. It's WWE now. It doesn't stand for anything else but WWE.
Even if you Google it, it comes up that they are no longer WWE Inc. since 2023. Their now trade name is WWE.
There you go.
Based on stock.
Before that, it was WWE Inc. So we got one more match left. This has been the top feud of United Wrestling, and Bad Thad Howard beats Riddick Stone. Jason, can you explain to us the stipulation of this match?
So the stipulation in this match is that if Thad won, their GM Joe Dunlap had to get his head shaved. So Thad won. After the match, Thad came out with a set of clippers, or Andre came out with a set of clippers, and Deuce and Riggs came out, and all four of them proceeded to shave Joe Dunlap's head.
So Thad is the babyface here.
I think Thad's a tweener here. Riddick is definitely the heel.
Okay.
But I seen this match. I watched this match. It was a pure slugfest. Two big men. It was fantastic. I love watching Riddick Stone wrestle. He's such a powerhouse. And I mean, Thad moves well for a big man as well.
Yeah.
He's a lot more agile than people think. And it was fun to watch. But I'm not sure where it goes from here. I'm sure Joe getting his head shaved is not the end of the feud or the end of something, but sure something's going to happen.
Oh no, watch out. It's going to grow back.
One thing that
It doesn't always grow back, buddy.
Yeah.
Well,
Trust
one
me.
thing that I'm very disappointed about this is they went live on YouTube, and I didn't see it. I think I was in bed. When you're working ridiculous hours, you miss some things, and they haven't made it public yet. So
They did make it public, but it got taken down due to copyright infringement because of all the entrance songs.
Story of my life.
I ran into that
that's
as
what it
well, yeah.
Yeah.
okay. So anyway, I really wanted to see this show, because
I'm sure they'll figure out how to get it back up there again. Maybe mute out some of the entrance stuff or whatever.
Truth be told, I subscribe to their channel, and they have a lot of matches there. I haven't gotten around to watching any of them yet because work. But yeah, a breath of fresh air promotion. So yeah, that was United Wrestling. Jason, upcoming shows for this weekend.
Big weekend of wrestling.
Big weekend.
Friday night, Red Rock Wrestling. They're having their Red Rock Rumble. There is Last Man Standing in a Rumble earns a championship title match at any time of their choosing. Technically a Money in the Bank type thing. So that should be pretty cool. A lot of cool faces that I've seen on the poster. Another match, Bradford Montague versus Chris Charters. Looks like that could be a good match. Light heavyweight championship grudge match, Rudy Lockhart versus Ian Knight.
I wish there was a way to see these shows, because I imagine that's just going to be just unreal.
Yeah.
You said Ian Knight?
Oh my God, you beat a horse to death, Mark.
No, is that the same person, or is this like a mistake?
Ian, Aaron,
Evan?
Ethan, Evan, I don't know, whatever he wants to go by nowadays.
Okay, cool.
And then champion Chris Cook put out an open challenge, and yesterday or the day, maybe this morning, I saw that Lincoln Steen wants to get into this match, so looks like we might be seeing a Red Rock World Championship match between Chris Cook and Lincoln Steen, two Maritime vets. I think it's going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah, I agree 100% there.
So then on Saturday, May 31st, we have 3 different promotions with 3 different shows. So if you're in the Maritimes,
There's probably a show within 2 hours of you.
there's probably a show within 2 hours of where you're going to be. We'll start off IHW Anarchy at the Kingsman Club in Miramichi. They have announced a no-holds-barred IHW Heavyweight Championship match between Chris Charters versus Julian Young.
A rematch.
This is going to be a crazy match, I think.
Corey's got his tickets for it.
That's right. So we'll have all the down low next week. The
Keep
that's
an
the
eye on
only.
our Facebook group. You'll probably see some pictures posted, maybe a few video clips. Yeah, looking forward to it.
They haven't announced any other matches, but they did say that Matt Sheffron, Shano, LG, Carmelo, Salem Wilder, Fantana, Hunter Sampson, Butterlove are all on the poster. So should be a good night of wrestling. If you happen to be in the Halifax area, UCW Resurgence. They have the heavyweight championship match between Hollywood Cole and Chip Chambers. Another rematch. Another match again. Surprise, surprise! 2 nights in a row. The UCW Atlantic Canadian Championship match. Rudy Lockhart versus Ethan Knight, or Evan, or whatever.
The other guy.
The other guy, his twin.
Yeah.
So again, they're going to be wrestling back to back for 2 different championships and 2 different promotions. So it's fantastic. The other match they've announced so far, an intergender match, first time ever. Matt Connors is taking on Madison Miles.
Interesting.
So that should be interesting. Also on the card, a fantastic lineup. Robbie McAllister, the tag team champs, Anthony Harlem and Dawson James. Dave Boyce, of course. Joey White.
Greatest.
Yeah. Max Power, Lincoln Steen, AWOL, and Bradford Montague is making his UCW debut.
I was just about to mention, like, we haven't seen him in, like, well, he may have been in, like, 1 or 2 matches outside of PEI, like...
He wrestled IHW. He wrestled IHW, and he wrestled North Pro as well, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seen him a couple of times, actually, maybe, like, on the VIP, but...
Yeah.
He was weirdly over in IHW. Like, people didn't know who he was yet.
North Pro loved
he had
him.
a mullet. He had a mullet, so people started chanting mullet, the most over thing all night, until Dave Boyce popped up.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, he's from PEI, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe I believe that he's now living in Ontario. So, he has been wrestling. I think it's for C4 in Ottawa and a couple other places. So, so it's nice to see that he's starting to get booked on other promotions in the Maritimes.
Absolutely.
And so if you're not in the Halifax area and you happen to be in the Truro area, you can always make your way to New Breed Battlefront. They've put out pretty much their entire list. So VIP match is Ryan Schimmel versus FKA. They've got Sebi versus Benoit Gravel. Justin Newhook versus Ian Pratt. I think that's going to be a fantastic match. Andre Mayet versus Max Power. Another old school vets match. I think that's going to be great. The Fighting Spirit Championship match, Ryan Storm versus Riddick Stone. This match has been brewing for a while. Started at the end of last season when Riddick made his return and pummeled Storm in the ring. I happened to be there that night. It was a good night. So it's been a long time coming, so that should be a fantastic match. There's also the New Breed Tag Team Championships match. You've got Ryan Denham and Damian Spades. They've come up with a name now, so they're now called the Rodeo Rockers.
Okay.
And there's going to be the Canadian Tuxedos.
Nope. And they're taking on Bobby Boyette and Ricky Mortis. Not sure if you've seen their promos or not for this, but they're looking at burying the Rockers. The promos were fantastic. Bobby's talking on the phone about Ricky Mortis being all in, and Ricky Mortis is somewhere in the woods burying a body. So it was a fantastic promo.
Yeah,
he's making ghosts.
He's making ghosts.
There you go.
Exactly. Also, they have the championship match. Fans bring the weapons. So it's Jonathan Cross versus Bad Thad Howitt with his manager Evan Wolf. So that as well should be a fantastic match.
It should.
And they've also mentioned that Kobe Kreisel will be returning, but they didn't mention what match he's going to be in yet. So it should be fantastic. Like I say, if you're anywhere in the Maritimes this weekend, there's pretty much something to watch anywhere. If you're in Moncton, you have the option to drive to Miramichi or Truro. I mean, you can even make the drive to Halifax, not that far.
Yeah.
So there's stuff everywhere. There's definitely lots of stuff going on the weekend. Same thing on PEI. You've got Red Rock on Friday night. We'll have all kinds to talk about next week for sure. So yeah.
Is Grand Prix going to Cocaine?
2026, I think.
Okay.
Fan question of the week. Jason, take over.
All right. So listener question of the week this week comes from a gentleman named Chris. What is your top 3 favorite Maritime wrestler entrance songs and your top 3 mainstream wrestler entrance songs?
So I'm going to start because Corey.
No, I've got mine now.
He's
I've
got his. Okay.
Holy.
I'm going to get the one that's obvious out of the way, Warrior Wildfire. Mainstream wrestling, by the way, Ultimate Warrior's theme song. Reason I became a metalhead is because that theme song was the absolute best. It's not my all-time favorite, though.
It's pop rock.
Wow, you're a dipshit. So second song, King of Kings, Triple H's theme song, Motorhead. Those are my 2 and 3. My all-time favorite mainstream wrestling theme song is Line in the Sand by Motorhead, which is the Evolution theme song. It's also my favorite Motorhead song ever. Just the perfect theme song. So those are my 3 mainstream ones. For Maritimes, the first I'm going to say is I'm going to CAW for this one. Jaws' theme song, Bullet with a Name on It, which is an awesome song. If it wasn't used by Jaws, I'd say it would be perfect for AWOL. It fits their character. I got a bullet with a name on it. So that one I really love. Number 2, I have to go with Titus, Raining Blood by Slayer. Big Slayer fan. That's 2 and 3. My all-time favorite Maritime wrestling theme song is Blackout by Thor, which is Sabotage's theme song. So those are my 6.
All right, so I'm next. I'll start with mainstream as well. Hard to pick an absolute favorite. I don't know if I can do a 1, 2, 3. But my top 3, Chris Benoit's Whatever by Our Lady Peace. Has always been one of my favorite. Edge's Metalingus by Alter Bridge as well. A fantastic song. Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge is my favorite guitarist. So
yeah,
that's a no-brainer.
Creed, right?
Yep.
He's with Creed. Yeah, he also plays with Alter Bridge. Yeah. He also put out a solo album as well. So
okay.
And
Mark Tremonti.
Yeah, and Motionless in White, Rhea Ripley. Demon in Your Dreams. I love that song. I love Motionless in White. My niece and nephews just got back from Florida last weekend. Got to see them perform it live.
Wow.
Bastards. So I love it. Alex Miller from AWOL was pretty pissed that his girlfriend got to see them play it live, but oh well. At least she filmed it for him so he could watch it. Maritime theme songs. This one here I'm a little biased because I actually made the song. AK-19 for AWOL. Heavy Metal Cut is really good. I'll post it in the description when I put it up if you guys want to hear it.
Plug the YouTube channel. Plug your YouTube channel. You're doing your own little music YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into some music stuff. Going by Marked by War. So I'll put the YouTube channel up. You guys can go take a look at some of the stuff I'm doing.
Hit subscribe.
Hit subscribe.
One more thing. The Maritime Warrior theme song was also written by Jason Casey. So, food for thought right there.
Second one that I like here in the Maritimes is Spike Esty. He has Cut the Cord by Shinedown.
Okay.
Shinedown is one of my favorite bands. Their song 45 is one of my favorites. And last but not least, Rudy Lockhart with Rudy Can't Fail by The Clash.
Yep.
It's such a catchy tune, and it fits him so well.
Mark, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I don't mind. It's up to you.
Go for it, buddy. Go for
I
it.
can go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down. That makes for good audio. It makes for good audio.
All right. 1.
Oh,
Corey, what do you have?
Fuck you, his paper.
I win.
Mark wins.
All
right, go ahead,
I'll
Mark.
go first. All right, so I'm gonna do it the other way around. I'm gonna start with the Maritime tunes, the entrance songs. So the first one, I mean, for the pop that it gets every time, it's just so fun to hear. But yeah, it would be Sabotage, same as Corey had mentioned earlier for Blackout. The second one, I had to ask him what the song was because I didn't remember what it was. But Hollywood Cole with Easy Lover. I think it's by Phil Bailey and Phil Collins. No, it's by Phil Bailey.
Phil Bailey?
Yeah, but it has Phil Collins.
Okay.
I believe, yeah.
You're right.
And yeah. And third, so I'm going to have a couple of honorable mentions as well because I didn't want to kind of leave them out. But the third one would be Charlie Hubley. Loved it.
Around.
Oh yeah, dude, I
miss him
loved
so much.
That brought a smile to my face every time. He's the goat. And it's as I mentioned, honorable mention to Zane Valentine for using "Sirius" by the Alan Parsons Project.
Yep.
For the old Chicago Bulls theme.
And Ricky the Dragon Steamboat used that as his theme song.
He did as well. Yeah,
love that song.
Intro to "Eye in the Sky."
Yeah. Which the intro is better than the actual song.
Well, it's a good song. But moving on to mainstream. Actually, number one is similar to Jason, actually, by Our Lady Peace, whatever, for Chris Benoit. And after that, for the reaction that it got out of me as a kid, like first time hearing it and whatever on WWF at the time. But Chris Jericho coming out to break the walls down on Y2K or whatever.
Y2J.
Y2J.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I thought for sure all the computers were going to kill me. But no.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho came out, That I think that was the biggest mark out of my life. Right there. Oh, yeah. And super underrated, I feel. But Kane coming out to Slow Chemical. Slow Chemical by Finger 11.
Right?
Yeah.
Good song.
That was amazing, man.
Dude.
And
I don't think the Jericho song was on there, but I believe the two songs other than that, Kane and Chris Benoit, was on the Forcible Entry CD, which is a terrible name for a CD. I'll tell you that right now.
Great CD though.
I had that album and just it got played so much. Like there were so many great, like Monster Magnet had the Hardy Boys theme song on there.
That's right.
I just slapped the Tornado.
Was it Power Man 5000 or something like that as well? No, it wasn't on there.
No, it wasn't on there, but they did do the Dudley's theme song. It was
they did.
Drop the Bombshells, I think.
Drop the Bombshell, yeah. Actually, that would have been a good honorable mention, but I do have a couple of them. The first one being because I freaking love this band, Killswitch Engage for This Fire for CM Punk. Used to love his old theme more than I like his current theme.
Personally, I never liked that theme. I don't know if you know this, Mark.
Randy
that
Orton?
theme was written for Randy Orton. He used it on one episode of SmackDown.
True. Yeah. I was like, yeah, you ain't surprising me on that one.
No.
But yeah, second honorable mention, Adam Cole, All About the Boom.
Yeah, that one's really good too.
Yeah,
That one's really good.
there's a lot of good stuff out there for sure.
Yeah. I went
Music
for like
is what makes wrestling for me. Like
100%.
the entrances and all that.
Yeah.
Such a special part of wrestling.
oh,
All
yeah.
right, I'll go mainstream first because it's a lot less fun, but it's what it is. I love Maritime Wrestling. Nothing more than that. Second Coming, Seth Rollins. If you're in an arena live, I don't know, man, it hits different. And the memories that I have from shows, so that's that one.
That was that Raw in Quebec, right?
Oh man, it's just, I don't know, what a night. Had a great time that night. Motorhead, The Game by Triple H, so a little bit different from Corey's, but
All three Motorhead songs have made list.
I love that song, man. When I was growing up playing the old PS1 games, PS2 games, I used to blast that song. The other one, Evolution, again, Motorhead. Such a good song, man.
It's the best.
For Maritimes, once again, like Corey, Titus, Raining Blood, Slayer. That song, when it would hit in Irishtown, my God, man. Special time, special memories. The next one's going to be a deep cut. Chris Tuff used to come out to one of my favorite songs by Mudvayne, Dig.
Dig. That was a good
hit
song.
so hard. I love that song, but great wrestling entrance. So, Chris Tuff doesn't get mentioned enough. Classic Maritime wrestler from the mid 2000s.
Forgot about that.
The bass slaps in that song, man.
My third one, nothing to do with the song. Everything to do with some of my best memories from Maritime wrestling shows when I was having the most fun at Maritime wrestling shows with two dipshits in this podcast. Jason wasn't too far away in a little corner of the ring.
I know exactly what he's going to say.
Wayne Jugs. You up. Man, it would hit and you'd get up and forget everything.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. That song for me, especially even to this day, if I hear it ever, it brings me right back to Wayne Jugs. His run in North Pro was special for him, for everybody in there. Dixie Lee, all the good shit, all the good memories.
Oh, man.
But
Dixie
man,
one of the-
Lee.
never going to give
Dixie
you up.
Lee.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things I've ever heard about when Never Gonna Give You Up starts, someone said it's like everybody's chairs catches fire because they pop out of their chair so quick.
Yeah.
And they just start chanting Jugs, Jugs, and their fists is in the air. And
And everybody's dancing. And
Blue headbands come on. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's
so funny.
man. What
we
good
had blue
memories.
headbands at one point, and we were right by the entrance. And when Wayne Jugs came out, he just looked at us and we're like, "Whoa!" He just like did a noise, like seeing us with headbands. He's like, "Yeah, the act's over."
He was so good. Like,
And then he'd whip that headband out of his junk and fling it towards us one time. I avoided that like it was a grenade. I'm telling you what. I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Man, good times, though.
Great times, yeah. So that was our fan question of the week. Again, Jason, can you let them know the email address if you have a fan question of the week or any questions for us? If you have a suggestion, if you want to, tell us how much Mark is, just if he sucks or if he rules. I'm not going
I don't think the rules.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
I mean, you can always direct message us on Facebook anytime. Or you can send us an email at unofficial.mw.podcast@gmail.com.
M like Mike.
Like
W
Maritime
whiskey.
Wrestling.
Also. Yes. Exactly.
In Jason's logic, Maritime Wrestling is all one word.
That's right.
Maritime Wrestling, no spaces.
No spaces.
All right,
Modern
so
Warfare.
a big thank you to Rugged Rick Owens for doing our intro this week.
Yes, thank you, Rick.
Anything else before we sign off, gentlemen?
That's all I got.
Did I ever mention how
my God.
Rugged Rick Owens is the first person to recognize me as Mark the Mark?
Yep,
which is
you've mentioned that
hilarious.
quite a few times.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
is like your
I don't
third or
know.
fourth time.
I just heard about. Yeah, I was like,
I
don't
just
know,
realized
fun fact.
Mark's a mark for himself.
Shit, am I? Same as LG.
I think-
Jesus. We just might be so much of the same. We just can't look at ourselves in person.
They're going to be
Like,
enemies and then a tag team.
Yeah.
man,
Oh,
we're gonna
boy.
win. We're gonna win the tag team titles.
And with
Imagine.
that being said, we're gonna wait for that fever dream to end. Thank you all for listening. Episode number 13. This was. Some people say 13 is an unlucky number. I say it's Cole Caulfield's number, so it's a great number. So
We're gonna
that being
score
said,
like 50 goals.
50 goals, at least 40. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember to catch us here every Wednesday for a new episode. Please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and more. Links are in the description. See you next time.
Don't miss out and don't be late. Hear wrestling talk that's first rate. Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock.